When Ken Whiting left international kayaking competition as a world champion, he didn't slow down. He still shoots the rapids, but not only with a paddle, he shoots them with a video camera. His Heliconia company is based in the Whitewater center of Beachburg in Renfrew County, and his daring approach to marketing his wide range of adventure videos is making quite a splash. Hi again, Mark Van Dusen with OBJ Regional. Today I'm with Ken Whiting, president and producer of Heliconia Productions. Ken, let me start by saying, when you left the world of competitive kayaking as a world champion, you not only didn't leave your paddle behind, you kept shooting rapids and other aspects of the wilderness, but you were shooting with a video camera. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a while, but since I've competed, but the outdoors continues to be basically the center of my world.
So you are now running a company, Heliconia, which, okay, people say it's a video production company. There's lots of those around, but Heliconia is a bit different. Let's go back a bit and let me ask you how this started.
Yeah, so I started back in 1998. I was competing, and in '97 I won the World Championships for Whitewater kayaking, and ended up writing a book about kayaking technique, and it did great. So I followed up with a video the next year, and it did great, and that's when I realized I was on to something, and it snowballed like that for a number of years, and then really in 2008 we had to change things up.
So you left that competitive world. What was that like? I mean, was it a big break? Was it a hurdle you had to overcome?
It was very natural. It was business is competition, and so it was very natural for me as I reached the pinnacle of that sport, having won, and I found it hard to stay motivated to stay there. You only really have one place to go when you're at the top.
yeah, right.
And so when I started, I love teaching, I love traveling, I love doing all these other things that were getting in the way of competing and training. And so as I learned how to do these projects, these book and video projects, and make money while doing the things I love, it was very organic. The development of the business, it was, hey, I can make money doing something I love. Let's do more of this.
Yeah. Heliconia, you're based in Beachburg.
Yeah. Yeah. The roaring metropolis of Beachburg, population about 1,000. Beachburg is a very small town, but it's actually one of the few growing rural communities really in anywhere in Canada. But it's based right on the Ottawa River, and there's a real outdoors community that's been developing here, and that's the attraction. The business is always, like I said, how it was organic growth. It's this is we're here not because it's necessarily the best business decision, because it's the best business decision in that it lets us continue to do what we thrive on and what we love, and lifestyle is always been a driving force for the business, and continues to be.
So let's get right into now what you're doing worldwide, which is very intriguing, sets you apart from perhaps other video production companies. Where do you shoot, and what do you shoot?
We still focus on the outdoor adventure and adventure travel. So we primarily do TV series. We have a number of TV series. We have one called Facing Waves, which is the world's top paddling destinations. One called Epic Trails, which is the world's top backpacking destinations and mountain biking destinations. And then we have a couple of kayak fishing shows, one for saltwater, all outdoor sports and all adventure travel oriented. And basically it's a great excuse to to travel the world to the the greatest places and tell cool stories of adventures and the people and the places that we go to.
So where have you been doing this?
Whew. You can almost put down a global map and close your eyes, put your finger down, and we've been there. We probably shoot in dozens of countries every year, all over the place, from every corner of the globe.
Yeah, you've traveled with Bedouins in the desert, I believe, right?
Yeah, we filmed a couple times in Jordan, and we filmed in the jungles of Papua New Guinea, to the the waters of Tahiti, and the jungle of Uganda and Rwanda, and throughout Europe. I mean, throughout. But you know what? Especially now, we're spending more and more time in North America and Canada, because there's so much here.
Okay, so who is Heliconia? You're the president and producer. Who else is with you?
Yeah, so I've got a business partner, Brendan, Mark, and he actually worked. I guess he was an employee, my second employee. He worked for me for about 10 or 11 years, and then he became a partner about 7 years ago, or however long ago. And then we have our core team is 13 full-time staff strong, and half of them are here in the Beachburg area, and until recently worked out of her office in Beachburg, and the other half are remote. Mostly our production team. We just don't have a big pool of talent to pull from for high-end filmmaking production, and so a lot of our production team works remotely in Toronto area.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What makes you different is you go ahead and shoot these videos all over the world. Not fairly high cost, I'm sure. There's travel, there's equipment, there's arrangements, accommodation. But you produce them, you pull them together. Am I right in saying you then provide them for free?
To the networks, we give them the content for the most part for free. In the areas specifically, we give them the content, broadcasters that have great reach in markets we want to reach. We give them the content for free in return for guaranteed distribution to that market. And then it's on us. We then use that guaranteed distribution to sell partnerships, sponsorships. That's what finances the productions.
So in the world that you work in, is that a unique concept?
Yeah, very much so. We definitely don't follow. We've flown under the radar for years. The typical TV production world didn't even really know we existed, because we aren't competing for the same funding. Haven't been. We're not competing for the same airtime. We've had this own little model that we didn't know it when we were developing it, that it was unique. It was just it was very much an organic development. We grew up from our Brendan and I both as athletes, and sponsorship. We grew up knowing sponsorship and knowing how to package ourselves or a product and sell that to brands, and so it was just a natural progression.
So let me get into this a little more closely. Give me where does your stuff air? You offer it to networks. Which networks?
The U.S. is our primary market, because that's the market that our brands and tourism boards that typically they want to hit first. So in the U.S., we work with Outside Television, Fox Sports, Sportsman's Channel, and there's a few there. And otherwise, internationally, we cherry pick things a bit more for markets that we are really excited about and that our sponsors and brands really want to reach. For example, National Geographic Asia, we host, broadcast some of our content, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to break it all down. It's a big network.
So those are pretty big names. Fox Sports, National Geographic. You offer them the content. So they would, let's say Fox Sports is airing a sporting event. Would then the broadcast or the anchor then say throw to one of your video productions as part of as part of the televised event? How does that work?
Yeah, well, those big sporting events provide the foundation of their programming. Those are their big dollar events, and in between all the events that they have, they need filler content.
Yeah.
They need it talks to their demographic, the viewers that they're watching, and that's really where we come in. Is we provide this content that is, what we call evergreen content. It's not really related to a specific time, a date, and they can plug it in when they have spaces, or if they have an event get canceled. Right now, there's a whole lot of that happening. And so we know a minimum number of airings that we're going to get as per our agreement, but there's no maximum. And so we tend to get is a lot of airings because they love our content, and it's just a great way to fill holes that they come across.
So COVID has changed things a little bit, temporarily, maybe even longer. It's made you readjust and take a new approach. What's going on there?
Yeah. It was an immediate kick in the butt. Tourism partnerships accounted for the past couple of years has accounted for about 65% of our revenue. And as you can imagine, tourism dollars just dried up immediately. It was like, bam, on March, I think we basically had well over $500,000 in contracts just canceled or postponed indefinitely. Not to mention the funding disappeared, but also the ability to produce all those shoots that we had lined up for the whole spring, summer, and fall. And none of them have come back online, and I don't expect them to be online until, I'm hoping, maybe next summer we'll be able to start resuming business as usual. And so we've had to definitely pivot aggressively, find new sources of funding and new sources, new things to shoot. Well, not new things to shoot, new places to shoot. And the new places has been an easy choice, domestic. I mean, Ontario, Quebec, Canada, really Ontario, Quebec right now, there's so much for outdoor adventure and outdoor travel here. We could film for years here and still not capture everything. And then revenue-wise, we've really had to pivot hard towards brands, away from tourism partners and towards brands. And so even though things were dried up quick, we actually hired somebody. April 1st, we had a new brand manager start just to really develop that, and it's already actually has been paying off tremendously. It's helped us to regain some of the loss, but it'll be hopefully I think we're going to be in a wonderful position when tourism and travel comes back online, because we're developing this new, more powerful, diverse line of revenue. And so the goal right now is just really to weather the storm,
right?
Keep producing great content while we're doing it, and there'll be clear skies. I'm confident there's clear skies on the other side, whenever that might be.
Can you give me some idea of, as a relatively new company, you've been around for some years now doing this, what sort of business you're generating, some financial, some figures?
Yeah, well, we've been over the past, we've been, I'd say, growing steadily for the past 6 years, and we've got gross revenues around 2 million right now. Um, and but I'll be honest, it's we could grow faster. We've got a really great team. We've got we've developed a really neat business model and system, our systems within our business that are scalable. But there's a reason we live in Beachburg. You know, it's rapid growth and becoming the biggest production company isn't the ultimate goal for us, for anyone at the company. It's doing something we love, turning down the jobs that we're just like, no, that's not our style. It's not something we'd like to do, and making sure we have time for the outdoors ourselves and family, and so we work hard. Don't get me wrong, and it's been a lot of work to develop what we've developed, and I'm very proud of that. But I think I'm just as proud of the fact that we've been able to maintain a wonderful outdoors and family-oriented lifestyle.